and YouTube world, wherever we're at right now.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Audacity School, the space where we dive into challenges and triumphs of women of color. I am Desiree Cocroft with Destination Life, and then I have
I am Erica Lynette with Divinement, and we are so excited to be back again today. Last week we talked about navigating imposter syndrome, and so
yes,
today we're really excited to come back and talk about, the power of networking and how it can really accelerate your career. So,
yeah,
looking
I'm so
forward to the
excited about
discussion.
this. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited about this because it accelerates your career, your life, just everything. I think about how many things that have happened in my life as a result of just who I knew.
Yeah,
You just got things
absolutely.
faster. So I am here for it. So we're going to start with the basics. Networking is just really essential, like for career growth, growth in your personal life, growth in
Mhm.
your leadership life. It really can accelerate so much for us when we get to know people, and it expands not just who we know, but what we know because of who we know. And so it really can
Mhm.
open up new opportunities. It can provide, really valuable insight into industries, but also just into personal things that you never thought you needed to know. Like you meet someone, they share something with you, and you be like, wow, you really, it was something I didn't know I needed to know until I
Right.
met you. And you
Mhm.
shared this with me. And so it helps you just have this huge support system, this strong support system that you can count on for so many things in life, and all because you meet them in one area, and sometimes they end up helping you in another that you just was unexpected. So networking can really just
Absolutely.
have so many benefits.
Yeah, yeah, right. And the thing that's so exciting, in the age that we're living in right now, there really are so many opportunities, especially with the internet. We can go to different networking events, we can, go to different conferences and things like that. And we're going to dive into that more in a little
Mhm.
bit. But, even, something as simple as the platform LinkedIn. And I know, Desiree, you and I have talked offline about how, so many people are not leveraging LinkedIn the way that
Mhm.
they could. And so, I'm one of those guilty people. I'm actually getting on track with LinkedIn myself.
Yeah.
But LinkedIn is a tool, an awesome tool that doesn't seem to have like the algorithm challenges that some of the other social media platforms have. And you can just really get on there, network with some great people who are in your industry and even outside of your industry. Get some new ideas, get some fresh ideas, and form some new connections, because you never know what kind of doors those may open. And so it just allows you to really just expand your network and just, grow in knowledge at the same time. So really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we dive into it, I really want us all to really take a moment and think about our current networking efforts. Like, are you
Yeah.
making the effort? If you're
Right.
watching this, whether it's now or the replay, like be real, right? You could comment, let us know. Are you really working on it? Do you know there's areas that you can improve on? Because there is this saying out there in some of these streets that no new friends, right? Some people feel so, how many people
They
feel so
married to their group.
intimidated,
Yep.
like they don't want to have more connections, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't necessarily want them. People don't always want what comes with being in relationship with people, and sometimes it comes with communicate not sometimes it comes with communicating. It comes with
Absolutely.
effective communication. It also
Hmm.
comes with creating space and time for those conversations, for those meetups and all of that. And then sometimes you're opening yourself up to sometimes be hurt or disappointed. And
Hmm.
so that's when people are feeling like they don't want to, form bigger relationships or bigger networks because now it's going to be too much to handle. But you can also make sure that you calendar it. You can create
Yeah.
your boundaries that's necessary so you can focus on your personal life and your professional life. And my thing is
Hmm.
that I've met so many dope people, and I'm sure you have too, Erica, that I
Oh yeah.
can't imagine how I would have gotten certain things in life had I not known people. And it was only because I opened my mouth
Hmm.
and I started talking and I was open.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so, like Desiree said, just take a minute to reflect on that. If you want to share it in the chat, feel free to do so. If you're watching the replay, feel free to put your comments there, because we do go back and read those. So, just take a minute to think about that. And so, as you do, we're going to go on and jump in and talk about, LinkedIn just a little bit more, and some effective tips that, we can share when it comes to LinkedIn and how to really leverage that. And so, one of the biggest things that we want to be mindful of and that people can truly sense is the authenticity.
Yeah.
I know this whole talk, this whole chat that we're having right now, this discussion is really about acceleration, but authenticity is really a part of it as well. And so we
Mhm.
want to make sure as we're making these connections, as we're reaching out, we want to, reach out from an authentic place, and really genuinely try to get to know the other person. Really make it a personal connection, personalize it and engage with them. So, and I have to say, Desiree, I got to give Desiree a shout out. She did not pay me for this at all. She has no clue that I'm about to say this. You all need to check out her page on LinkedIn. This woman right here she has proven what can happen when you stay consistent on LinkedIn. And you can speak more to it, Desiree. I just had to shout you out because I've watched you seriously over the past couple of months and how you have grown. Even in just a short span of what, maybe one or
Mhm.
2 months.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So you can share more about that. I'm excited to hear about it myself.
Yes. Well,
Officially on our live.
officially on our live, thank you for the shout out. I accept all shout outness. And I've been an advocate of it. What's interesting, I've been on LinkedIn, and again, LinkedIn is not the only way to network. That's just what we're talking about right now. But it's
Right.
when we think about LinkedIn, like I've been on LinkedIn since like 2015. No, 2012. So almost 10, a little over
Wow.
10 years. And it was because I worked at a nonprofit, and the one of the board chairs of board members of the nonprofit wrote a book on LinkedIn and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna tag him in the comments later." But he wrote a
Uh-huh.
book on LinkedIn, and he was the one that told me, "Yo, you need to get on LinkedIn, get all these connections." But back in the day, LinkedIn was really for a resume, just for job.
Yeah.
You didn't think about it socially or whatever.
Mhm.
So fast forward, the way that I've really been doing, I haven't really used LinkedIn groups as much. I know LinkedIn groups, getting
Mhm.
attached to those can actually help you connect with people that you wouldn't connect with in terms of their connection. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's actually really good. I
Yeah.
find that some of the groups that I've been in haven't been as active. It ends up being kind of like a bulletin board. I do think
Mm.
by far the best thing that I have done, well, the two best things I have done on LinkedIn for growth and getting to know people is engaging. And I know people say this, but truly engaging on people's posts and not
Mm.
just saying,
Mhm.
"Great, love
Right.
it, thank you,
Right.
yes," but
Yeah.
really
Some of the
saying
cookie
something
cutter
meaningful.
responses. Right. Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
meaningful responses because
Mhm.
I did get another LinkedIn coach, and I could shout out. I'll shout her out in the chat, but Lara Acosta. So she was my coach in December, and like she is the reason that I grew by maybe 1,000 followers in like 7 weeks,
Wow.
7 or 8 weeks, something like that. And she's the one that really helped me tighten up on my storytelling. I've always been a storyteller, but just really tightening up in consistency, right? So
Mhm.
between
Mhm.
talking to people and consistency, and she said one thing that really helped me, and I think it might help everybody else. She said, treat LinkedIn like a networking event. And I'm like,
Mm.
that helps because I feel like I kill networking events. I love talking to people and truly being in conversation. And I feel like that can be felt through some of the commentary I lead because I lead from a
Mhm.
mindset of like, this is an online networking event. Like,
Yeah.
you need to be talking to
That's a
people.
great tip. Yeah, I love that. That's a
Mhm.
great tip.
Yeah.
And
So I'm
actually,
like, those two things.
and I was gonna say, when you said that you treat it like that, it actually sounds just like that. Like when I read some of your posts, I'm like, I could hear Desiree literally saying that.
Right. And I
It
try to
sounds
make
just
it
like
as
you. Yeah.
conversational as possible. Like if I
Yeah.
say something like, "Oh, I love your outfit," like I'm literally saying that to myself out
Yeah.
loud, like not just to say it or like, whatever commentary. So that was one of the pieces of advice that she gave. Like treat it like a conversation and a networking event and
Love
literally,
that.
engage on people's posts. And then obviously be consistent with your own stuff and story tell
Right.
as much as possible because that's entertaining and it helps people get to know you.
Yeah, yeah. I love it.
Mhm.
Love all of that. Well, of course, we have some call to actions as we go through our conversation here. And so we would just ask, as you think about what you could do on LinkedIn or any other platform that you enjoy using, think about two people that you could reach out to, two people professionally that you could reach out to, again, if it's on LinkedIn or a different platform. And, maybe it's somebody that you admire, someone that may be within your industry, but reach out and just strike up a genuine conversation. Tell them that there's something that you may admire about them, and tell them or ask them a question related to their expertise. Just to get the conversation going.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great tip and something really straightforward that people can go do like right now.
Absolutely.
Go do
And
it
it doesn't
right
take
now.
much. Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to jump into our next one. So our first one was about LinkedIn. The second one is about networking events, like real life in person networking. Even though
Mhm.
there are like some virtual networking events, which you can definitely take advantage of. But in this instance, we're talking about literally getting out there, going outside because we back outside.
Yes.
To networking events and conferences. And so really attending these things are a really great way to expand your network because people, it's a quicker way for people to build rapport because they're in your
Mhm.
space. You know, like we
Yes.
have, we definitely have created really strong relationships with people remotely in a social media world. And then post pandemic, we did so many things more remotely. So you really know how to build rapport online. There's something really
Mhm.
quick that happens in person. You're
Right.
quickly exchanging numbers. You're not as hesitant as you would be online. You're quickly exchanging ways to work with each other. There's a lot less there because you can kind of tell when someone is pitch slapping you or if someone is genuinely want to get to know you, right? It's just way different. And so we implore you to just try to figure out what kind of events you want to go to. And one great example is Erica and
Mhm.
I met in real life at a networking event.
We did. We absolutely did.
We
Yes.
did. We had to meet all the way in Atlanta, Georgia at a conference. We were both in a business mastermind, but we had never met each other in person. It was a
Nope.
mastermind that had a lot of people in it. But when we met in person at this conference, we hit it off, and here you go. This is how we've come together and created what we have right here, right now. And that is
Yeah.
a result of meeting in person.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that
Absolutely.
was such a fitting example for
It
today.
was. It was. And yeah, and the sad part is I forgot about it.
How did
But
we
you're
meet?
exactly right. We did. I mean, and I remember when we started chatting one day, it was like we were in the middle of the hallway and we just started talking about the work that we do. And we saw that synergy. So yeah, yeah, it works. It definitely works. And so, when you go to these networking events, of course you want to make sure that you take initiative. Sometimes we are introverted. I'll admit I'm somewhat introverted, but I have learned to start stepping outside of my shell and really just, taking initiative, introducing myself, striking up a conversation, because you just never know who's in the room. I mean, you could be talking to someone who's at the top of the organization or someone who just knows the right person that you need. And so, make sure that when you have these conversations, ask some insightful questions, and then follow up with those connections. That's one of the biggest things that tends to fall off at the end. You exchange information and then it's like, okay, nice to meet you. And then it's crickets. And so, make sure you follow up after those engagements. I'll say an example that I love, and Desiree knows I love going to different events, but there is a national organization. There are various national organizations that have annual conferences. There's one in particular that I love going to, the Congressional Black Caucus Conference and events that's in Washington, D.C. every single year. And you just meet amazing people from all over the country. And so, just stopping someone in the hallway or meeting someone at, whether it's actually at a conference event, one of the meetings, you just meet incredible people and you can have those conversations right there on the spot, like Desiree was saying. So, really seize those opportunities and just ask the questions, exchange the information, and be sure to follow up.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And,
Hmm.
we want to make sure that you, again, have takeaways. So if you haven't already, consider what are some networking events that are local to you or conferences local to you, or maybe you jump on a plane, maybe you drive a little bit to go
Yeah,
to something that goes with your industry or some of your interests, and just make a goal to introduce yourself to at least three new people. And here's the thing, they don't have to be new people that you have to do business with. They can be new
right.
people that you can actually help. Like maybe you
That's
want to
right.
do that go giver style and make sure that you sow into other people. You can definitely
Hmm.
use that time not to just focus on you, but you can use that time like, hey, I really want to pour into some other people. And you never
Hmm.
know what that could lead to as well. So it's really important that you think about what you want out of some of the events that you're going to so you can know what you're looking
Hmm.
for. But also just keep in mind like who you want to connect with, who are the kind of people you would want to pour back into, because that can be a give back too. Because I find as we grow in our careers and our industry that we can look at networking as something that's really elementary. Like, oh, that's for
Yeah,
those people that don't have a big network, or those are those people that are just starting in their career. So if you're being cynical,
right.
I'm talking to you because
Talking to
And
you.
that's you, I'm talking to you, because everybody can feel like, I've done enough. I have a big circle. Like I
Yeah.
have all the business I need. I have all the connections I need. But you don't know that. We live a long life where you can have an
Hmm.
opportunity that's missed because you just, kind of stayed to yourself and felt like you didn't need to talk to anybody because you have so many things. So I just want us to check our ego at the door and our
Yes.
resume at the door, our titles at the door, and not even, kind of get off on who we're meeting. Because I've been at networking events and you can tell when people have an air as if they don't need to meet you because of where they are in their business or where they
Right.
are. They're so focused on who they want to meet and know they know nothing about you and how you can, really sow into their life or be a blessing to them personally or professionally. So I just implore you to be open, regardless of where you are in your career, regardless of your title. And if it's not because you want this person to do something for you, think about what you can do for them.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Completely agree. All right.
Mhm.
Well, let's move on. Let's go to the next one. So, kind of along the same lines when we talk about networking at these different events and conferences, also look into professional associations because, there's a huge opportunity to, get engaged with some local associations or national ones as well that may have local chapters where you can, join an association that's related to your industry and really connect and engage with those people who are are of like minds. And so that also provides valuable networking opportunities and really kind of a more close knit environment where you can kind of get to know someone on a more personal level because you're going to be part of that association. You may be meeting monthly, you may be meeting twice a month, but at least you have some kind of cadence there where you're meeting on a regular basis and you start to build those relationships.
Yeah.
So, that's another example in addition to attending some events and conferences. And, I know we talked about, looking at different opportunities that are within your industry, but I would challenge you to even look at some that are outside of your industry because,
Mhm.
I think sometimes we limit ourselves to just saying, okay, if I'm in this area and if I'm on this path, these are the only organizations that I can, reach out to or that I should
Right.
reach out to. But, I'm even being challenged with that right now, where I was speaking with a colleague and he's former law enforcement, and I was telling him about my platform, and he said, Erica, you should reach out. You should come join our association
Yeah.
because we have different individuals in law enforcement who could actually benefit from the work that you're doing for their teams. And I'm like, but
Wow.
I'm not in law enforcement. He said, I know you're not in law enforcement, but they can benefit from your work.
Right.
And I'm
So
like, you
true.
know what? There's so many opportunities out there that we, limit ourselves on because we don't think outside of the box. So, not, of course, look at ones within your industry because you do share some common interests and things of that nature. But also consider those that may not have a direct connection or direct correlation because they can still
Yeah.
benefit from your work and your expertise.
Yeah, that's actually so good to like look outside of the box because there are those organizations that we could have an opportunity to close a gap on a skill set that they might have, but we are not
Yeah.
directly related. So I love that. That's really good. And then even when we talk about being active in professional associations, it can really
Hmm.
just help you build relationships, especially because most of them have monthly meetings,
Yes.
workshops, things like that, and you might be able to display your expertise by speaking at one of them or being able to share your business a little more about
Hmm.
in one of them because a lot of them like to do business within. So this professional organization could be something that is, local, regional, national, international. It can also be in the form of ones that include coaching. Like there are
Hmm.
quite a few professional organizations that I've seen that are professional women leaders or leaders in a certain industry, but it comes with coaching and it comes
Okay.
with mentorship. It comes with matching people with mentors. So it does have kind of like this air of a coaching program, but it's not um, marketed as a coaching program, so to speak. It is marketed as a professional organization or association, but it does have some of those things. So I think that that's another
Okay.
way to
Hmm.
build intimacy. So when you're choosing it and you want to think about how you can have good relationships, well, at least it'll have a calendar of things for you to show up at so you don't have to figure out how to create relationships with it. It's kind of
Right.
already like built in.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like a done for you.
Right.
It's already, and that's helpful. so
Yeah.
you can plan accordingly. And then, maybe you can fit a few meetings in, or maybe even look at some other opportunities once you get that schedule, and you're able to put it on your calendar. So, as you think about this, one thing we would challenge you to do is research, a professional association that, may be related to your industry or may not. And, something that you can become a part of, or at least attend an interest meeting, just to get to know some of the individuals and what they're doing, the work that they're doing, and see if it's something, that you may want to be a participant of.
Yeah. No, I think that that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Awesome. So we are going to wrap this up. I can't believe it.
Oh
It's
my, I
already
was going
time.
to
I mean,
say
we're early. We're
already.
kind of early, Desiree.
I know we are. That's okay. It's the end of the day. We were talking that because sometimes we go over.
Yeah,
So
we do. We do. So we're gonna, we're gonna give you all a few minutes back, I guess, today.
yeah,
That's our gift to you. So really, as we start to wrap up, we really just wanted to go back over the challenges or the calls to action, just to make sure that we emphasize the importance of networking. So first and foremost, to recap, the first challenge that we have for you this week is first to reach out to two people you admire professionally. Again, whether it's on LinkedIn or a different platform, reach out to them. And someone who you authentically admire, that you truly
Mhm.
genuinely want to have a conversation with, and just
Yeah.
tell them that you admire them, ask them questions, and see if there's anything that you all can exchange regarding expertise, just something to get the conversation going. So that's the
Yeah.
first challenge. Reach out to someone, or at least one or two people, on a social platform.
Right. And it's so easy to do, right? Because we
Yeah,
check at least one time a day. And so remember to do that. So that's good stuff.
we check more than that.
Right, that's so true. I think I saw some stat out there that says like 8.5 minutes. Every 8.5 minutes, we like
Oh
look at our
wow,
phone. I'm
I
gonna have
believe
to
it.
like see. I gotta look at my stats on my phone to see how much time I pick up because it records everything. Everybody's watching us. But
That's
the
right.
other two things. So, like Erica said, make sure you reach out to two people, and then we want to make sure that you're looking up, different conferences, different events. If you're on LinkedIn or if you're already involved in other organizations or people that are in different industries, you definitely can ask around. Some people have already laid out their 2024 calendar of places that they want to go
Yeah.
and conferences they want to go, but maybe you're a little behind that right now, and or you haven't thought about it just because of things in life. So we want to encourage you, think about that.
Hmm.
It can benefit you in so many different ways. And then the third thing that we just spoke about was really building relationships through professional organizations. And so consider, what are those professional organizations that you could participate in, or maybe you're in one right now that you've been like a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
that. You pay the membership fee. You're like, oh yeah, I am a part of that. Or like, oh
Right.
yeah, I haven't gone to any of the meetings at all. Like nobody would know me. But the people that benefit from those organizations are the people that actually show up to the meetings, the people that actually are
Hmm.
talking to each other. So we can't blame that. So take advantage of doing that. Consider it's a book out here. I forgot who the author is, but I've read it.
Hmm.
Not how, but who. Yeah, not
Mm.
yeah, not how, but who. So sometimes we think about like, how can I get something done or how am I going to do this? But it's not about how, it's about who, right? So
Wow.
we think
Mm.
about who we need, or it's
Hmm.
who, not how. I forgot which way we
Hmm.
say it. I haven't read it in a while, but it's on my phone. But the point is, when I read the book, it really lightened things up for me when I was thinking about all the things that were on my plate. And sometimes we think about our own hands being the ones that have to make those things happen. When in
Right.
actuality, we have so many people that we have access to. And if we don't, it's because we haven't actually looked around enough to see
Hmm.
who's actually in our within hands reach, right? Arms reach or what have you. And so
Yeah.
if we consider, if our life is feeling all over the place, consider who is around you that can help you solve a problem. Sometimes it might, cost you some time, it might cost you some money, but if it's something
Hmm.
that's going to help you, then you've done what you needed to do.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that is all we have
That's all.
today. We hope you enjoyed the
Yes.
episode on the power of networking. We know that we did talk about only a few things. There's so many deep dives that we can do. Let us know in the chat, in the
Hmm.
comments, if there's anything else that you would want us to talk about as it relates to networking, or what was your favorite thing that you heard that you're going to go do.
Yes, we would love to hear what you're going to do. Helps us all stay accountable,
Yeah.
and so definitely share that in the chat, whether it's now or during the replay. Please share it because again, we do check that, and we want to give you your shout out too for what you're doing, the work that you're doing. So, again, as Desiree said, this is what we're sharing today for networking. And we just want to highlight again, it's all about building strong professional growth
Yeah.
networks. And so, in order to do that, we have to take that initiative.
Yeah.
We have to get outside of those comfort zones and just really seize those opportunities. And that's really the main way that we can advance out here because it's all about relationships. And
Yeah.
so, we just hope you really enjoyed yourself today. Be sure to join us again next time. We're going to be tackling another awesome topic through the Audacity School next week. And of course it's going to help you excel in your business or in your career, because it's all about just having the audacity to just get out there and do the work, or get out there
Mhm.
and open your mouth and take the next step. So be
Yeah.
sure to join us again next week. We look forward to seeing you. And so I
Yay.
am Erica Lynette as we close up.
Yep. And I am Desiree, and this has been the Audacity School podcast. We will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.